Hello, and welcome to this special broadcast by the feared and famous 77th Brigade. As promised today, we are going to take a look at the shit show that was the I Will Not Comply tennis ball protest, which was arranged by Fiona Hine, aka Fiona Rose Diamond. That took place in London on the 23rd of September 2023. The protest started off in Hyde Park, London, where a small group of people met up in T-shirts that were brought and paid for online by mean of a digital payment. So much for the only use cash crowd. Are you seeing the hypocrisy of the I Will Not Comply movement yet? Even longtime truther Barry Paskin can see this bullshit for what it is. Going to London for the protest today? You're a mug. It's a total waste of time, money, and energy. And it's run by a T-shirt selling vampires who took control of the movement and killed it. Now we have got the T-shirt grift out of the way. Let's get back to this I Will Not Comply tennis ball protest. Once the numbers started rising, the crowd hit the streets of London and did the same thing they do every time, walked while shouting at empty buildings, because that achieves a lot. And of course, during the march, they had the meet and greet your favorite celebrity conspiracy grifter, as MP Andrew Bridgen is seen marching alongside a totally sane and rational woman, holding a sign saying, "Deliberate attack on the world using HARP technology." The march was going well, with people happily shouting at empty buildings until Fiona Hine spotted Tyrant Finder on his own and halted the march and brought the crowd to a standstill. And longtime truther Marco ran to confront Tyrant Finder and calling him out for calling others out.
Sit down there, call people out, you're a fucking idiot.
I'll call who I want out.
Because you're wrong.
What's this gonna do? What's this gonna do?
Wake people up.
Wake people up. We've been here 2 years waking people up. We've been waking people up for 2 years. Waking people up for 2 years, Marco. 2 years.
We do not consent.
I will not comply. All on your fucking paper. All on your paper.
We do not
I'm the
consent.
fucking traitor. When did I bully you, Fiona? When did I bully you? When?
You do it all the
When?
I think you do it all the time, you're a fucking prick.
Go away,
Stop being
Marco.
a cunt, right?
Go away.
There's a real battle going on that
Really?
you're not part of
Then
anymore.
take up
Fuck
arms
off.
and fight.
Fuck off.
Take up arms
Do anything
and
to
fight.
for people. So
And
fuck
fight.
off. Fuck off.
We're going to fool everyone.
We will not consent.
Everyone first.
Fuck off! Fuck off! You're a cunt. And you're a bully.
You're a fucking shield. You're a fucking Fiona. A shield. This cunt's shield. I've been here since the fucking beginning, and I've seen you.
A few moments later.
Constables! Sorry, Constable, can you tell me if this has been risk assessed at all? Has this been risk assessed at all?
Yeah.
It has been. So a full risk assessment is being put into Westminster Council.
As far as I'm aware, if the protest's been authorised, and it is an authorised protest.
It's an authorised process.
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
So it's a controlled protest then, yeah?
Well, I mean, it depends on what you define by control.
Well, somebody said yes, you can have a protest, so they've controlled it.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a very broad category. I don't think there's really much point in arguing it. I mean, if you want to say that somebody's giving you permission to do something at any given point...
So, say for example, if I wanted to walk down here today with 10,000 people,
Right.
without getting permission, would I be allowed?
Again, separate risk assessment would happen, and maybe make it happen. Maybe
Why would I need to risk assess it?
you don't think that it could be anything potentially risky about 10,000 people?
Well, no, because
No,
if there's 10,000 people, they're all walking along like adult human beings, aren't they?
Okay.
We've all got moral compasses, haven't we?
Well, that's,
Yeah.
Again, your moral compass is an arguable thing, but
Yeah.
the point being is people manage to put time to do things that can hurt themselves or others. We're just here to make sure it doesn't go wrong.
Yeah, true. Hey, thank you for that, Constable. Thank you.
And there it is, folks. Tyrant Finder has hit the nail on the head and exposed this. I will not comply protest for the bullshit that it is, and Tyrant Finder was totally right. Events organizer Fiona Hine did get a risk assessment, which she complied to, in order to have the I will not comply protest. But that's not the only thing that Fiona Hine complied to. Fiona Hine went through a lot of red tape and liaised with both the police and government agencies to have I will not comply protest. Looking at the .gov website, it clearly states, by law you must tell the police in writing 6 days before a public march. If you're the organizer, tell the police the date and time of the march, the route, the names and addresses of the organizers. The police have the power to limit or change the route of your march, set any other condition of your march. If you arrange a march at short notice, you must still tell the police as soon as you can. The police can also change the location, limit how long a rally lasts, limit the amount of people who attend, stop a sit-down protest if it blocks road traffic or public walkways. If there's no march involved organized as part of your protest, you do not have to tell the police, as we have clearly seen Fiona Hine's I will not comply protest is marching, which meant that Fiona Hine has complied to a hell of a lot of agreement with the police in order to have her I will not comply protest in London. So much for the non-compliance, Fiona. Over on the Metropolitan Police website, on the section about arranging protest, it says, tell us about a procession or event you are planning. If you're planning an event or procession, by law, you may need to notify us in advance, whether it's a festival, show, party, static demonstration, or march. We'll work with you to make sure it goes smoothly. Am planning a procession through a public area. Thank you. Under Sections 11.1 and 11.3 of the Public Order Act 1986, you must tell us at least 6 working days before the procession is due to take place. Please have the following details ready. If possible, date and time of the event.
You did though.
Event start point and route.
We know she's lying.
Number of people you think will be at the event. Your organization's name and address. But you did. Planned meetings before or after the event.
What you do, though.
Event. Names of anyone scheduled to speak.
You did, though.
Links to any publicity material.
But you did.
And dates when you'll be available to meet us.
But did you though?
You may also find our guidance to organizers of public events information useful. Please note, if you plan to use the road for a march or procession, you'll also need to ask permission from the authority responsible for it, usually the council.
She's lying.
Please contact them and ask about a temporary traffic order TTO, sometimes also called a temporary traffic regulation order TTRO.
He's lying.
And all of these things must be complied to in order to have a successful planned protest. That before the start of the 20-minute process to fill out the form just for the Metropolitan Police, not to mention the forms for the local council. Now we have got how much Fiona Hine don't comply. Let's get back to this shit show. That is the I will not comply tennis ball protest. After the brief altercation with Tyrant Finder, the march went on with gullible idiots following a Pied Piper, Fiona Hine, with her megaphone, with some protesters taking time out to try and convince the police of their daft delusions. This show the mentality of the people who follow the lying I will not comply grifter Fiona Hine.
To living men and women, even when you take their uniforms off, how can they dictate to us that you've got to do this, you've got to do that?
Bear in mind that this indoctrinated numpty has more than lickly displayed his yellow profile image and traveled to London to join a protest about not complying, and is full of conspiracies that he has had dictated by his favorite conspiracy grifter.
15-minute cities.
15-minute cities really scare the conspiracy theorists. They hate the idea of essential services like shops, doctors, dentists, opticians, and other essential services being within a 15-minute reach.
85% of your wages that you earn is taxed.
We're do you get these numbers from?
From your vehicle, you know what I mean? Come on, your food, everything. 85%. Yeah.
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horse shit.
Who give that order? The people didn't give that order. Now you can see the numbers building, but what's happening? Liverpool police and courts are on notice under Article 61 by myself as well. Yeah?
Article 61, the go-to favorite of conspiracy theorists that don't know how to do real research. And open up Google. The original version of Magna Carta granted powers to assail the monarch and seek redress to 25 barons in order to keep the provisions of the Magna Carta. But these powers were not granted to the population at large. Within a year of being written, this clause was removed from subsequent versions of Magna Carta. It was never incorporated into English statutory law. There will be a link in the description with the truth about the Magna Carta.
Yeah? So what's happening? They've not been rebutted. The numbers are growing. Yeah? But what's going to happen is the people are going to start arresting you.
Now we have seen the mindset of the gullible followers of this I will not comply march. Let's get back to this shit show of a protest. The march went on until they reached the gates of Downing Street where the big orders happened. Throw those tennis balls with messages on them to the government. After the epic fail of a finish, to the I will not comply tennis ball thrown at the gates of Downing Street, the march slowly fizzled away as Fiona and her group of conspiracy theorists headed straight to the Old Shades pub in Surmise, London. I wonder, do the owners of the Old Shade pub know that Fiona Hine is on pub watch for her vandalism in the pubs in Richmond, London during lockdown? Now that concludes this look into the I will not comply protest movement. Take care, keep safe, and always do your research. And don't follow blindly the conspiracy grifters you see online. They don't have your best interests at heart. They will lie through their teeth about everything.